believe we're on episode 32 already. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude, this ain't no joke. We're
This ain't
doing
no
this.
joke.
This
This ain't
is
no joke.
so I'm honestly proud of us.
Yeah, me too. We really kept
Like,
with it and everything. Yeah,
it's
we
been
really
eight
have.
months. We've only not done an episode once, and that was during the winter storm in February.
Yeah, everything else we've always rescheduled if anything's come up. I mean, we're college students, or you graduated, especially now. That's more of a reason for shit to come up. You're in full job search mode and everything like that.
Yeah, no, this is my passion project, man. I'm not giving this up.
All right, let's get into it. I'll go ahead and do the Nordy. What's going on, everybody? Before we get into this week's episode, make sure you guys check out Nordvpn. You can use Nordvpn to browse the internet privately, safely, and securely. If you use our affiliate link, it should be in basically every one of our bios. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's just down below. But use our Nordvpn affiliate link. You can sign up for a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, and you'll save up to 70% on a 3-year plan for only $3.50 a month. That's a great deal. You can use up to 6 devices simultaneously on it. I use NordVPN myself, so make sure you guys check that out in all of our bios and use our affiliate link. All right. Beer time.
It's Corona time.
It's Corona time. All righty. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bunnell, and alongside me is Elijah Span. Today is August 25th. We are currently live on Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, all that good stuff. But if you're not watching this live, don't worry. You can hear all of our episodes uploaded on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasting. You can make sure to check out our website where you can find all of our content, including blogs, over at gtdsports.com. Follow our personal accounts on social media. I'm over at Ryan Bunnell 8, and Elijah is at Elijah Span 19. If you want to keep up with our gambling picks, football season is heating up. I know we're going to be betting more. We've mentioned it before, but now it's finally time. Follow us on the Action Network. You can search us by our full name, and there you can keep up with all of our betting picks. Last but not least is the Gtd Sports Newsletter at the bottom of our website. There you can sign up for email notifications on all podcast episodes and all that good stuff. All right, that was a lot, but it's been an interesting week. We mentioned it earlier last week on our last episode. We had a fantasy podcasters fantasy league draft. We put together. Elijah was working on it for a while. He put together 10 other podcasts, including ourselves and the Blanket Coverage podcast, which is soon to be on GTD. But it was a ton of fun. I'll let Elijah talk a bit more about that because the draft was last night. So in case you missed out, you missed a good one.
Yeah, that huge 2.5-hour stream.
Yeah, that went way longer than I thought it would.
Not more than I expected, but it was fun. It was fun to properly stream a fantasy football draft and with all those guys and how competitive the league is. So, but yeah, that's definitely my highlight of the week, especially in terms of like the involvement that we've gotten from all the other podcasts. This has been something that I've been working on. I thought about it, I don't know, month and a half ago.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while.
Yeah, so and then just contacting a bunch of different podcasts and getting it all together and, help from you. And it's been cool to like see it through and just I've been really, really grateful to all the other podcasts and how they've like fully embraced the idea of how we can help each other out with this. It's been really cool.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really expect it to take off as much as it did because it was kind of quiet for a little bit, in the group message and everything. But now that the draft happened, yeah, everybody seems to be fully on board.
Yeah.
Everybody was tweeting their lineups. They seem pretty excited. I mean, this should be a really competitive league.
Oh, yeah, this league's definitely going to probably be the most competitive league I've ever been in. Because, like, one, it's 12-man, and two, like, all these guys know exactly what they're doing. So there's no dumbasses to rely on.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I was going to say nobody took Mahomes in the first, but I'm pretty sure somebody took him in the second, or was that the third maybe?
Yeah, it was a guy who got first, so he picked him
third round in the snake.
Yeah, bottom of the second.
Mm.
So I guess like third if you really wanted to, but whatever. But yeah,
close enough. No, but it's been a lot of fun. What's your? Oh, I guess that was already your highlight of the week. So what's your low light of this week?
Low light of the week. My low light of the week is that Hard Knocks is high key boring.
Really, I haven't watched it, so
I've watched it. Matt, can you fuck off, please? I took him on a walk so he wouldn't do this, but he's being a cunt. But anyway, it's pretty boring. There was in the third episode, there was one cool part where they did like a 3-minute drone thing all around the Star in Frisco, the Cowboys practice facility. Badass. It's huge. I knew it was big, and I've always known it was big, but like it really showed you just how big of a complex it is. Cool to see.
We used to have high school football games there. It was sick.
Oh yeah. Because you're from Kennedale.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's really showing about how just rich as fuck Jerry Jones is. Like there's one scene, but he's kind of a baller with it because there was like they were in the helicopter and like, oh yeah, we gotta go back and pick up Steve, and he goes, yeah, let's just start the day fucking it up. and then like after they got Steven, and he goes, take me around the stadium just to like admire his Taj
Jerry
Mahal that he's
World
built in Arlington, and he's like, it looks even more beautiful today than it did 12 years ago, and
dude, I could not imagine having Jerry Jones money, bro.
But outside of that, bro, it's been lackluster. Like there was like a solid 20 minutes about like our 5th string running back who's definitely going to get cut because he sucks, about how he lost a contact during the last preseason game, and then he couldn't see and he dropped a pass, and then he put on rec specs at practice, so they kept on talking about how he had rec specs. But he's an undrafted free agent. For some reason, I just don't like him. I don't know. I don't like. I want to see
you don't
more.
Get a good vibe.
Yeah, I don't fuck with his vibe, and like I don't know. It was just he also sucks. He like dropped every single pass in practice, and Hard Knocks spent a solid 20 minutes on him. I'm like, this guy is gonna be nothing to me in like 2 weeks.
I wish they would do like a Hard Knocks type thing for other sports too, like basketball. I saw LeBron tweet something about that. Yeah. How he wants to bring that to basketball. I think that would be dope.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I need to watch more of it.
Another little low light of the week I'm just going to toss in there. I can't start my freaking solo podcast because I keep on forgetting to commission a Fiverr podcast art logo for it. So I finally did today because I had a really great idea. And it's going to be $70, and I don't have $70 to just dish out like that. So
for the cover art?
Yeah.
Damn, I feel like you could find it cheaper.
Well, I wanted to do a whole bunch of things. Like I wanted to splice like a different background in it, and I wanted to add a picture of me that I had, and then add a dog. It's gonna be like super badass.
Okay, so, I mean that sounds sick. Shit.
He broke down like because it's a picture of me, my back, like looking at this golf hole. But I'm gonna have them. But like the background is like because it's a declined hole. It's a hole like a top of the hill.
Yeah.
And so I want him to splice mountains. Like I have a picture of mountains and splice that over it instead of being a golf. But I still have like my golf club, and then have like my dog next to me, all in cartoon, with like.
I guess what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's $70.
What quality?
It's low key, like a little worth it because like if this guy's like a much 5-star review, so he's gonna do a good job. Like it's gonna be pretty badass. So
yeah, I would expect so. And I mean, the good thing about like Fiverr too is if you're not satisfied, you can literally just get your money back. Like it's pretty nice. I like their format with everything. But if you guys don't know, Elijah has a solo podcast coming soon to the Gtd Sports Network. Unexpected Value is going to be the name, so stay on the lookout for that. That's going to be some good stuff coming. For my highlight of the week is essentially what we've been talking about, kind of GTD's growth these past like week or so. We just got a couple new people apply to be a writer. So shout out James Burke. We just added him on staff. He's going to start writing some blogs for us. Exciting stuff there. And we also got another applicant that I'm currently in works with, getting him on board. And last but not least, too, we just secured Zach Sports. So Zach Rieger. He's going to be joining the GTD Sports Network with his podcast. It's a fantasy-based podcast, so that'll bring a more of a niche market, which is what we need. Some more specific kind of stuff too.
No, which is awesome because I think literally 2 weeks ago, I was like, when we were looking for podcasts, I was like, we need a guy who does fantasy only.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this is clutch. And he's a cool guy. So
yeah, and we talked to him a bit. He's a great guy. Yeah, gonna fit in really well.
Met him through the fantasy podcast league, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and then my low light of this week is the same low light as last week. Fucking Arsenal blows, man. It's just so painful. We had a game today where we won 6-0, which that was nice, but it wasn't a Premier League game. It was a cup game, so I don't even care. In terms of Premier League, we have not scored a single goal this season, and we lost to Chelsea. Yeah, we've only played 2 games, but we went from losing to Brentford, getting shut out by Chelsea at home, and now we have to go and play fucking Manchester City, bro. We're literally going to be 0-3 without a goal 3 games into the season. I guarantee it. We're going to get shit on by Man City. So, depressing time to be an Arsenal fan right now.
Yeah. And Man City's about to get Ronaldo, sounds like.
Dude, there are talks right now. Yeah, there's a lot of talks right now. Ronaldo wants out of Juve. PSG seems uninterested, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Because Mbappe is supposed to be leaving PSG soon, too, now that they have Messi.
Really? Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be crazy if Ronaldo joined PSG.
Dude, with Messi, that would be insane. That would be insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would do with myself.
That'd just be kind of stupid though. Because like we said, like the French league is kind of soft.
Yeah, other than PSG. And Monaco has their okay years.
That would be like if Bama moved to the Pac-12.
Yeah, essentially. It's kind of how it is with PSG in the French league, yeah. All right, we're going to go ahead and we talked about it before. Our podcast fantasy draft was last night. We're in a fantasy football mood. It's draft season right now. We're going to have our buddy Cole Markey come on. You guys have probably seen Cole on some of our previous episodes. I don't know why I'm saying later. He's also one of our writers on gtdsports.com. So go check out his blogs if you haven't already. Great stuff there. And we will be back in just quick 10 seconds with Cole to talk about our fantasy team. What's up, Cole? How are you doing?
Good. It's a great time to be a sports fan with football around the corner, both college and the pros, obviously. So the rest of the year should be great just for sports. I'm excited.
Yeah, football season is finally upon us. I see Mac is excited too, Elijah.
Mac's pumped.
Mac's pumped.
Mac's a huge football guy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get our fantasy team pulled up here so we can do a little bit of analysis. Cole was looking through our team a bit, giving some pointers maybe. We're going to kind of walk through our team if you guys didn't watch our fantasy draft last night. And also, if you're listening to the recorded version, again, highly recommend watching the live version of this, or at least the recorded version on YouTube, because there are these visual elements like this, what we're about to do. So
yeah, doing a little bit of bad radio.
Yeah, a little bit of bad radio. We got a little bit of visuals going on, but it is what it is. We're in the modern era. We're in the Twitch era, bro. This is what it is now.
True. Honestly, people that watch podcasts more than they listen. So
yeah, I do too. I prefer seeing at least some face. Yeah. All righty, we got it up here. This is our matchup. So I again don't really know how to work fucking Sleeper. It looks like you got our lineup set now, right, Elijah?
It is. Yeah. I don't know how to work it yet either, but I can already tell that it's the best fantasy platform.
Yeah, it already seems way better than ESPN, better than anything I've used in the past.
I just got to get used to it.
All right, is that better for view right there? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can see it perfectly.
Yo, as we said, this is going to be competitive, bro. We've already got people making roster moves and shit.
Somebody already added Michelle?
Yeah, Sony Michelle dropped Alan Lazard.
Fucking A.
Wait, what? Free Tim Tebow, what? Did they draft him?
Maybe I don't know, I guess.
I didn't even pay attention. All right, but without further ado, Cole, I want to get just first off, what is your initial reaction to the GTD podcast fantasy team?
It's a great team. It is a good team. There's no doubt. Watching the draft too, I know there was some contention, especially I know Elijah, you weren't incredibly happy with McLaurin over. I mean, you're happy that you got McLaurin over, but Robinson, I know you wanted pretty heavily at that third round pick. It is. I agree. It definitely is a 50-50 because McLaurin is definitely. I think I looked out of all the teams. You could have, if you had chosen Robinson, you probably would have had probably top 3 running back duo. I'd say because there's some other ones that I think the first team had McCaffrey and Dobbins, which is probably the best running back duo, I would say. But I think with McLaurin and Hopkins, I think you guys have the best receiver duo in the of all the teams. So
I do too. I'm really happy with our receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got a tier 1 in Hopkins and a tier 2 in McLaurin. So, I mean, I think you guys have the best receiver duo, which off the bat puts you ahead of a lot of the teams. And then, of course, Chubb, I think, is great. You get definitely the best player available with your position that I saw. And then Jacobs is decent. He's a good RB2, I'd say. And then,
I realized that how much stock that I have in Jacobs, because we had a big debate over Jacobs versus Swift.
I was pro Swift.
He was pro Swift, and I realized last night because I saw something that had like Swift over Jacobs, and I was like, "Holy fuck! If Swift has a better season than Jacobs, then I'm gonna get got." So,
yeah.
I mean. Yeah, it was a tough position because, I mean, you mentioned Cole, like James Robinson. Yeah, if we could have got James Robinson and Nick Chubb, I would have been a lot happier with that. My philosophy was I really thought we could have got McLaurin and then James Robinson next round, but somebody took a reach for him like right after us.
Well, I also, too, that day, as soon as the Etienne news dropped, I texted Ryan. I said, we should put a second or third round pick on him. And it was the third round. And Ryan was like, "Oh, we can get him in the fourth." I was like, "Okay, I believe you."
I really thought, bro. I really thought.
And then it didn't. But it's okay. It's okay. We got a good team.
It's an interesting debate between Swift and Jacobs because there are reasons to be obviously very high on Swift. He's the number 1 back, of course. But they're saying he's having some conditioning. They don't know if his conditioning is up to par. Carrying the workload. At least that's what the Lions have said. And he had a groin injury as well. And the groin is obviously, those are not good injuries at all. So that's slightly concerning. And on Jacobs' end, of course, he's the number 1 back. But as I think you said last night, Elijah, the O-line is obviously not as good as it was last year.
Yeah, the O-line's kind of rough right now.
We're not really sure what they signed Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake is there, but
we're not really sure what the Raiders are going to do with him. So that could be interesting to see. If they don't,
probably pass catching.
Yeah.
Take a guess.
Yeah, so that's another interesting piece of that story. But I mean, you could go either way. But I think, and then your running backs and wide receivers are good, and of course, Kyler is sensational. And Miley, he's the keeper. And I kept him in my league. I had 1 keeper in my league, and I kept Kyler in the 6th round. So that was he's otherworldly.
Do you guys do a dynasty league with 1 keeper?
No, we just. It's not really a dynasty league. It's just, I guess just the 1 keeper. I guess you want to call it that, but no, we just get 1 keeper.
That's interesting.
6th rounder later, if they were on our team the whole season, the year before, then without trading them or dropping them or anything, then we get to keep 1 keeper 6th rounder later. And I was debating Kyler in the 6th or Swift in the 7th. But quarterbacks take a little bit more in our league than compared to like most leagues. So I went with Kyler, even though Swift was definitely a good option too. But there's a lot of So I think Kyler's good. He should be top 3 this year easily. I think.
Yeah, I think he will have a great year because we were looking at his rushing stats, bro, and he almost broke 4,000 passing and 1,000 rushing like last season, and I think he's gonna have a better year this year. But yeah, with the Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake thing, I am a bit nervous that Kenyon Drake's gonna come in and steal all of his receptions. I mean, it's not like he really had that many. I mean, let's look like receptions 4, 3. Okay, that's 3 receptions a game I could live with. You know what I mean? If that's what Josh Jacobs is getting, that's fine. But now I'm concerned, though, that Kenyon Drake's going to come in and steal all of them from him.
I think a likely scenario, too, is that they're going to try it out for the first couple of games. And Kenyon Drake's going to flame out like he's done everywhere else he's been. And they're going to go back to having and then just go back to having Josh Jacobs as their number 1 3-down back. As he should be.
Yeah, he should be. He should be a workload back. He should be getting all of the reps. I hope that Nick Chubb boots. I think Nick Chubb is going to be fantastic fantasy-wise no matter what, but I really hope he just kind of takes over that running back room and kicks Kareem Hunt out of there and just takes all of his carries because I think he's totally capable of it.
I foresee his receiving totals going up this year. A lot of some experts have him ranked in a PPR format, have him ranked higher than like Henry and stuff because Henry doesn't catch anything really.
Mm-hmm.
It's all rushing. But Chubb is a little bit more of a receiver as well. The thing about the Browns is I think most people or a lot of the top sports sites say they're the number one O-line in the league because they're loaded on the O-line. I think it's
The Browns,
Conklin,
yeah, I could see that.
Heller as well, I believe. So they have both those tackles on each side. I think Heller's a tackle. So they're stacked. They're like primed to be a great rushing offense, obviously. So I think that's why Kareem Hunt was even as a second running back was drafted so high, and Chubb was honestly a top 5 pick. So just expect a lot of points between the both of them, especially Chubb.
How are you feeling about this is another one of our picks that we were very, very happy to come away with. I think we got him in the 11th round, was Corey Davis. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Elijah and I both feel very high on him.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of it depends on how well Zach Wilson plays, right? Because, Zach Wilson he looks a little bit rusty, he didn't look as good in the first preseason game, but in the second preseason game with the Packers, he looks really good. So a lot of it does depend on how Zach Wilson plays. However, Corey Davis is the number one receiver there. So you expect him to get a lot of targets, a lot of receptions, and if they want to if Zach Wilson wants to huck it deep, I would imagine Corey Davis is that guy.
It's going to either be Corey Davis or Elijah Moore.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore's kind of a speedster, yeah.
Yeah, so also what the Jets have going for them is they have a great O-line. So I think Zach Wilson won't get attacked as much. So I think Corey Davis, with where you dropped him, with a good pick. So
I think there's a ton of value in that. Dude, I'm really hype on this team. Kenny Golladay I think is going to have a great year. Our boy Younghoe Koo is going to drop running back 1 numbers this year. We should have taken him in the fucking 3rd round, bro. He's dropping 20 points a game.
He's worth it.
He's worth it.
I can see the Falcons doing a lot of their normal bullshit, just finding a way, getting to the other side, getting the opposite side of the field, but just not closing. They did a lot of that last year, so I can see the same thing again, especially with Julio and Mike Davis. I'm not super tight on Mike Davis right now as a punch in back. So love Younghoe.
Yeah, I do too. And then rounding out our bench, this is another one that we're pretty high on, Zach Moss. I think he's going to have a great year. Didn't do too hot last year in Buffalo, but he was a rookie. Now I think he's still 21, which is he's literally my age, bro. That's crazy. But I think he's going to have a breakout year too in that offense.
Yeah, that could be a pick that works out really well.
I'm a little surprised that I feel like, for the Bills thing as good as they are, you think the running backs would be higher ranked, but especially it's a little confusing. But yeah, you're right. Zach Moss was a rookie, and the Bills should be better, I guess. Or maybe the same 13-3 as they were last year, but obviously the other game, extra game. So that was a good pick too. Also, you could have also gone Singletary back to back if you want to in case one gets hurt, but
that's true. That's why we went with the handcuff, even though we don't have Christian McCaffrey. We went with the handcuff of taking Chuba Hubbard, because if McCaffrey gets hurt again, bro, Chuba Hubbard is going to drop ridiculous numbers. Even as a rookie, he's crazy athletic. He's basically the same type of player as Christian McCaffrey. They are honestly identical style of play. So I don't want to say I want McCaffrey to get hurt, but I would love to see Chuba Hubbard get an opportunity. Yeah, that's going to be hype too.
I'm curious. McCaffrey obviously plays every down basically, so I'm curious to see if he gets any how much action he does get when McCaffrey does need one snap off or something. Oh, yeah. But
this is a hardcore handcuff, or to maybe even trade to the guy that owns CMC as soon as CMC or if CMC gets hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a big trade. That would be huge. We could demand a lot for that. Sure. All right, let's look at our other GTD team in here. Let's see. It's not until week 8, I'm pretty sure. League, yeah, week 8. All right, let's look at blanket coverage. Oh, nope. All righty. So this is our matchup pulled up. I don't know exactly how to work Sleeper to like pull up their entire team, but can you see this, Cole?
I do.
All right. So straight off the bat, I love this is our other, for those watching, this is our other GTD podcast team. It is the blanket coverage team hosted by Jack and Noah. They were participating in our draft as well, and this is the team they came up with. I really like their running back situation. Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Swift, that's pretty fucking baller if you ask me. And they got Mike Davis as well. So not too shabby. I will say, though, for their wide receivers, oh, shit, what'd I do? They did go double Vikings, Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. That's 2 Vikings, and I don't know how I feel about that for an RB1 and wide receiver 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then A.J. Brown, Mark Andrews. How are you feeling so far about it?
It's like they could have gone a lot of ways, but it's interesting about the Vikings because a lot of it does. I mean, Dalvin's going to get his touches no matter what, so I feel like he's gonna just put up the monster numbers like he did last year.
Probably.
Kirk Cousins should be the same as he was last year. I mean, their line's a little bit better, so he'll get a little bit more protection. And the fact that they got Swift in the 5th round is remarkable. That's a steal, basically, I'd say.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
And then
he took him right before us.
I know you were really wanting Swift in that position.
Yeah, we were hoping he would fall to us, but he didn't.
It's interesting, but I think AJ Brown's gonna be good too. But he re-injured his knee that he hurt last year, I think. So that's something to watch. And I also think Julio, I know he's not on the team, he's not on this team, but he also had a hamstring injury that he's dealing with. So yeah, the Titans receivers are not a little bit banged up, but we'll see if that impacts the regular season. So
yeah, I don't know. I trust AJ Brown over Julio. Ironically, I think AJ Brown's gonna have a better year. Yeah. Julio's all hype, I think, right now. He's kind of old. I mean, I hate to say that about Julio, but considering it's fucking Julio Jones, like he used to be like the best receiver without a doubt, and now he's just old. You know, it happens.
He can make you eat your words with that take, though.
You're right, though. He could, but I'm not saying that Julio Jones has fallen off. Like he's not bad by any means. He's just not as great as he once was.
But I do agree. AJ Brown is he's the guy.
He's the guy. Yeah, he's like him and DK Metcalf are very similar in my opinion, except for DK has like more track speed.
Yeah, I was about to say DK is definitely faster.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Now, Cole, but you said you have a fantasy draft coming up too, right?
I do. I'm really excited. My ranking. I've been playing this for a while. My rankings for a while because I think last year was the first time in a while I didn't make the playoffs. And I was not happy about that at all. I think I'd plan a little bit more this time around. So I'm interested to see how I do. But I'm excited. It's a big pot. I think it's $75 per person. So,
$75 per person? Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's pretty steep.
And I think it's 10 teams and only 4 make the playoffs. So
where do you pick again?
I picked 6. So if I can get Chubb, that would be unbelievable.
You think Chubb's gonna fall to 6 though? I don't know.
He could.
He could very well fall to 6 because I wouldn't be surprised if somebody took Saquon over him.
I would be glad. I have him.
Exactly. No, you're right. I agree.
I do not want Saquon, not even in the slightest, because
I'm a bit nervous.
ACL is a concern, but he's not even start. I think he might start the first game or he won't. I don't know. And the Giants have like the worst line in the league. I'm pretty sure. Like it's ranked bottom, like the bottom 3. So that's combining that with a serious injury like an ACL is not good. That's not a recipe for
Who needs a good O-line when you have the greatest quarterback of all time in Daniel Jones?
Yep. So, hey.
He's the GOAT.
Basically.
Is that what your plan, though? Is that your plan to take Chubb at 6 if you can?
If I can't get Chubb at 6, if I can't do that, I'll probably go Eckler or Aaron Jones. I think
that's good. Yeah, I think Eckler. There's an argument to be made for Eckler in like the top 7. You know.
So I subscribe to the Fantasy Guru, which is like a thing. And he has in a PPR format, he has Eckler at 3.
Really, at running back 3.
Because I would imagine we expect the Chargers to be better than last year. They drafted Slater somehow. He fell to 14, which is insane, or 13. And then they signed Lindsley from the Packers, give him all the money. So I expect their O-line to be better, and Eckler's like their best running back by a lot. So,
Eckler's going to put up crazy numbers.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we should have considered Eckler more. But I do like Chubb. I do like that we have Chubb, but I feel like maybe looking back on it, because it is full point PPR and the amount of receptions that he gets per game, maybe we should have considered him just a little bit more. And I also love him. He's one of my,
he's great.
So I've had him on my team before, and he puts up numbers. So he's one of those guys where it's like, he's like, I don't know, 15th ADP or something like that, but he'd be worth a reach from like.
He would be worth a reach. Yeah,
6'12". Yeah, he's worth a first round pick. Like,
for sure.
Outside of like the top 4 guys, if you want to, I wouldn't tell somebody they're crazy for going Eckler over Chubb or over Saquon or over Zeke. I really would, especially with full PPR.
I think if they took him over the top 4, like you said, though, of
it's kind of that's
Kamara,
a little stretch.
Yeah, like Cook and Henry, that is a bit of a stretch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully I get one of those running backs, and then because one of the guys in the league has Metcalf as a keeper, so he's off the board. So if I don't get Diggs, Hopkins, I certainly won't get Devontae or Hill. I'll probably draft another running back, or maybe I'll go Ridley. He's there.
Ridley may be worth it. Yeah, because I don't know if you'd be able to get him in the 3rd round. But yeah, I think Ridley's going to have a good year.
So I'm really going to do that. Get one of the top 5 receivers, or just go running back, which is
That's been the meta. It seems like in recent drafts, or at least this year, especially, running backs have been just so valuable. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's because there's like a list. There's like 14. There's 14 like really good running backs, really, and then after that, there's like it kind of dropped off. So that's why it's not the reason you're running back.
It's a big drop off.
Yeah, kind of. It's a huge drop off.
Yeah.
So that's why I might get running back, like, unless I get one of those 4, because you can easily get Jefferson or AJ Brown or even like Allen Robinson in the 3rd round, or even
definitely
Elijah. You might or you want CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb. I'm surprised he went in the 4th round in your draft. He's like a 3rd rounder in most people's leagues.
Running backs have been going so heavy in the first like 10, 11 picks in every single draft. It feels like. I even I know a guy that got Devontae and Kelsey back to back because he was drafting at the bottom.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have like the 10th pick in a 10-man league, bro. That's literally setting you up. You could probably get away with like Eckler and Devontae Adams if you really wanted to. Like,
easily. Yeah,
that would be a great position to be in this year specifically. The 5 spot is a little tough. Even the 6 spot in a 10-man league is kind of a little tough, being right in the middle there. But it always works itself out. The board always falls, it works itself out. But while we have you here, or actually one more question about fantasy. Are you doing a last place punishment, Cole, for your league?
So we are, but we haven't decided. This is the first. We haven't done it in the past. This is the first time we're going to do it. We don't know what it is yet, but I'm not going to jinx myself, so I don't know what it is. But I hope it should be something good. I imagine,
Yeah. We've been. We're also doing it for the first time in my league with friends from home and everything. We're considering doing like an open mic night where the loser has to go do stand-up comedy at a club. We're considering a Sports Illustrated full body shoot where they have to recreate it for the rest of the league. Wait, what are you about to say?
I heard. I was listening to the radio like a week ago or so, and someone said, yeah, that's what they did as their punishment was the open mic night. But I think I think the guys in the league, you write the material and you have to say it. I think.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna tell them. We're writing the material, and we're just gonna give them a blank card. Just make them wing it.
That's fantastic.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's going to be willing to risk that, though, because some of my friends in that league are just going to be like, absolutely not. No chance in hell I'm getting up there. So I would do it. I would risk it, because I'm not getting fucking last. I mean, what is this?
The popular one is the Waffle House one. Like
Waffle House and the SAT are pretty big.
But I
actually know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, I actually know a group of guys that do an ASTAT league. And one of the guys straight up got an ASTAT.
Oh my God!
But the rest of the league got to decide what it was.
Oh, do you know what they got him?
Yeah, so he's a Golden State Warriors fan, so they made him get like chosen one or something for LeBron.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's fucking hilarious, though. That's a story every time.
So he actually he straight up has an ASTAT.
Do they do that every year? Like, what if somebody loses 3 years in a row?
Well, here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure he lost again, but I guess I don't know. He moved away because he graduated and he was living in Utah, and he was pretty much just like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not getting another ASTAT."
I mean, I wouldn't either. Shit,
no,
one is enough. You got to draw the line.
Yeah.
But while we have you here, Cole, let's go ahead and talk about. There's just a little bit of news preseason, training camp news leading up to kickoff. First things first is the Broncos just named Teddy Bridgewater their starting quarterback. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the Broncos are doing. It's a fine choice. I don't have anything wrong with Teddy. There's nothing wrong with Teddy Bridgewater. He's obviously a nice guy and his story's really good. And he's not bad. But I mean, you drafted Drew Lock for a reason. I guess you also traded for Teddy Bridgewater for a reason to create competition or something. But I don't know. I would think Drew Lock gives them a better chance to win. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, Bridgewater might play great and it will look like a good decision, or he'll play terrible and Lock will go in.
Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't really matter. Yeah, if this backfires, they're just gonna stick Lock in there. It doesn't really make a huge difference. But I personally think Bridgewater puts him in a better position to win. I think Bridgewater's better than Lock. Neither one of them are great by any means. But I really just don't like anything I've ever seen from Lock. I don't think he's gonna. I really don't see any room for him to develop. I know they got John Elway, legend, whatever, but I don't know. I'm not really sold on Lock by any means. I've seen a few Broncos fans on the Twitter sphere were talking mad shit after the decision. They're like, "Why would you do this? Drew Lock is the future, yada yada." It's like I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think the dumbest take I saw in a while was Dan Orlovsky. He tweeted that the Broncos are not a playoff team with Teddy Bridgewater as the starter, which is just not true. I would also
a major flip.
Yeah, I would also prefer Drew Lock if I was a Broncos fan, just because I feel like he would provide more promise, hope for the future, potential.
In that aspect, I agree. Yeah,
because you know what you're getting with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
And it's just the Broncos passed on Justin Fields and Mac Jones to start Teddy Bridgewater this year.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But it would have been so tough for them to have taken, because when was Drew Lock drafted? Do you remember what round he was?
He went in the second round.
That's what I thought. Yeah, second.
So,
so they didn't waste anything per se.
Yeah, but it seemed like that's what was kind of happening when they passed on those two guys. Because a lot of people thought that they were going to go quarterback. So they were like, okay, so maybe they're going to give Drew Lock another shot. They're just putting Teddy in there to kind of light a fire under him. But then they just went with Teddy.
Yeah, and you're right, though. I thought a lot of mock drafts had Justin Fields going to Denver, which would have made sense for them as well. And I know a lot of Cowboy fans were pissed off that they didn't take a quarterback because they ended up getting the Cowboys guy.
Yeah, they got Patrick Surtain, who I really wanted, but I'm pretty pleased with Micah Parsons. I think he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah, he seems. I mean, he was a freak at Penn State, so he should translate well into the NFL.
For sure.
In other news, we got the Rams just acquired Sony Michel for a couple. They sent over a couple conditional picks to the Patriots for him, which my initial reaction is, damn, Bill Belichick is fucking good at his job, because the Patriots were going to cut Sony Michel anyway, and now they just got 2 picks for him. So, I mean, I know it's pocket change in terms of the draft, but 2 conditional picks are 2 conditional picks. So, and for somebody you were literally just going to toss to the street, I mean, I think it's a good move for both teams, though. I think Michel will be a good fit for the Rams, even though he's kind of washed per se. How do y'all feel about it?
RIP Darrell Henderson believers. So they're definitely no, I think it's gonna be another RBC running back by committee with the Rams. Sony's gonna split reps with Darrell and probably one of their other guys. I can't remember his name.
Xavier Jones.
Yeah. And then again, like you said, and then this just goes to show with the narrative that the Rams hate draft picks and they will do anything within their power to get rid of them. Sean McVay, I think Sean McVay doesn't like rookies because they're the closest in age to him than his other players. And then again, like you said, Billy Belichick just doing his thing. If he doesn't have a use for a player, he's going to ship him off. It sucks that they used a first-round pick that on him, and it didn't work out for the Patriots, I guess. But
he had a couple moments, in his time in New England, but for the most part, yeah, it was not it. What's crazy to think is the Patriots' best running back in the last decade was LeGarrette Blount. That's fucking weird.
No shit.
He went off though that year, bro. Yeah. He went absolutely ham.
That just goes to show you, don't fucking pay running backs.
How do you feel about it, Cole?
Just I don't know, LeGarrette Blount thing. I think it's hilarious that he won the Super Bowl with the Patriots and he goes to the Eagles and then beats them in the Super Bowl. That's funny. That's funny. He was actually a contributor on the Eagles too. It's funny. No, Elijah, he nailed it around the head perfectly. I think I'm glad I haven't drafted yet. I think Harrison went in the 3rd round for you guys or the 4th round, so that proved to be costly because could have got someone better. That overdraft. Yeah, I mean, good for Matthew Stafford. He gets another running back. That obviously the Akers injury was tough. So no, good for. I mean, the Rams. I think they're in the 5th rank in the power rankings for ESPN. So just added more talent to their offense. So with the Rams to be, one of the contenders.
We've been talking about that for a while. Yeah, we think the Rams are going to be definitely contenders. I think they're going to have a good year. And yeah, like you said, it's just another weapon for their offense. I think he's not going to play a major role, but I think Michel will be a great check down back for Stafford, because Michel's a great receiving back. But I mean, when we're talking about guys like Kamara, he doesn't compare in any means, but it'll still be something Stafford could fall back on. I feel like pick up a few yards here and there. So it's good, especially since they lost Cam Akers. So I think it was a good move for both parties involved. And last but not least on our NFL news this week is Travis Etienne is out for 12 weeks. It's a bummer. Nobody wants to see a rookie get hurt. But man, what does this mean for the Jags offense? Are we going to see James Robinson just have another crazy year?
So wait, is he not out for the season?
He's out for 12 weeks. So that is his listed injury. And
so he could come back.
He could, but I think they're going to sit him the season.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I guess I was really excited to see both Trevor Lawrence and Etienne on the same field as pros together. That would have been cool. But it's not like we're never going to see it because it will happen next year. I was really interested to see how he'd pan out in that Percy Harvin role because they were saying a lot of the buzz around him is that he's lining up at the wide receiver a lot. So I was excited about that. That might have been even a testament to how good James Robinson is running the football too.
That's true, yeah, because they're just trying to work in Etienne.
So we could have. I would really like to see how that played out. But if not, I mean, Robinson's a really good back. This isn't gonna. I don't think this changes much for the Jags in terms of long term, because this year was pretty much just going to be a building year anyway. This is just getting Trevor Lawrence accustomed to the NFL, getting everyone ready, implementing Urban Meyer's culture, I guess, and then shooting for the stars either year 2 or year 3.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people too making some hot takes about Urban Meyer. I've heard people saying he's going to get fired before the season's over. I've heard people saying he's going to quit halfway through because he's just not built for this grind. And I completely disagree. I think Urban Meyer is a very unique mind. He's a football mind, bro. He was literally born for this. This is what his brain is wired to do. And he's one of the best collegiately of all time. So I think it's, of course, they don't translate directly to the NFL. I mean, look at Nick Saban whenever he went to the Dolphins. But shit happens. I mean, I think Urban's going to be just fine. I think people need to calm down. They're just overreacting because he looks sad on the sidelines. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, I'm sure he's stressed out. He's got a lot of shit on his plate. He's not going to look happy all the time. But I think people need to calm down. Urban Meyer's going to be just fine.
Has Urban Meyer ever looked happy on the sidelines?
No, exactly. He always looks like he fucking left the oven on or something at home.
Yeah, he's got some shit on his mind at all times.
Yeah. Or it's like this is exactly what he looks like, bro. He looks like he always is about to go into the locker room and chew somebody out. You know what I mean? It's like he's thinking about, I'm about to tell this motherfucker. But he's like I don't know what it is. That's just what I see it with it.
Well, I think a lot of it's just like he's the ultimate competitor. Like when he loses, he's been known to take losses so harshly. He just doesn't even know what to do with himself. So
yeah, he truly has some mental health issues when it comes to processing that. I've heard that as well. He truly does not he puts so much of his emotion into it. Yeah. He's so invested into it that it truly fucking destroys him whenever it doesn't go to plan.
Nah, but he says he's in a better place with terms like that, and he knows that losses come a lot more often in NFL than when you're coaching at the University of Florida or Ohio State. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. What's your record predictions for the Jags? I'm curious.
5-6 wins.
That'd be pretty good for him. Cole, what about you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go 6. I'll go 6. I mean, I think they'll be the Texans twice. So that's, basically automatic.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, I feel like Trevor Lawrence would have some, crazy, have a 400-yard passing game or something, and still win that game or something like that. It's just feel where he just goes crazy.
I hope so, dude.
So 5-6, I'd say 6 wins. That's being respectful. I mean, they might, and also Ryan, the only Bengals game, National Televised Bengals game is week 4 against the Jaguars Thursday Night Football. So
let's go, dude. Let's go. Joey B against Trevor Lawrence.
Or Burrow won't be out the year by that time.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be hype. That should be an actual Bengals win. Okay, I hope so. I fucking hope.
I think I might put a unit on the Jags.
Bro, come on, dude.
No, for real, the Thursday Night Football Jags win is screaming to me right now.
Well, you saw,
they said, I'll wait for the spread on that one. Sorry. They said
Burrow's playing in the last preseason game. Going to play a few snaps.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of the story because he might either look really good or he might get killed, which would be disastrous. Of course.
Yeah, I'm not too happy. I don't want to risk anything, but at the same time, I do want to get his game legs underneath him, have him kind of used to that so that week 1 isn't truly his first time since week 12 last year playing in a live football setting. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm sure they've ran through some situations and stuff at practice and whatnot, but nothing compares to the real deal. And I mean, he's only a year 2. He didn't even finish his rookie year on the field. So there may still be some jitters. Who knows? And I really hope that these reports from training camp about Burrow missing throws are just an exaggeration because they have too high expectations for him. I really hope that shit just goes out the window and he comes out on the field and balls out because he's going to be throwing 50 passes a game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, we've talked about how training camp could mean everything or mean literally nothing. So we're just not going to find out until, probably about a quarter way into the season about how he really is feeling, which I'm so excited for. I'm so ready for football, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
There's a wing bar, like walking distance from where I'm staying at right now in Austin. And, I know goddamn well opening night, I'm walking there and I'm getting pissed drunk at this wing place. I'm going to watch football just ready for it. So
Yeah,
I
Elijah,
can't wait,
2
God.
weeks from tomorrow, right? I think.
Do what?
2 weeks from tomorrow is Cowboys Bucks, I believe.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the preseason. Preseason is just such like a tease, So it all it does is make me mad because it's not like real football.
No, you're right, Cole. I'm pretty sure it is 2 weeks from today, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks
Today's
from tomorrow.
Wednesday. I got my days mixed up. I shouldn't, though. This is Wednesday. It's podcast day. I should know this by now. We didn't.
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
I was going to say, we didn't even.
We've been talking a lot about it coming up to the game, and I'm sure Elijah will have his predictions ready for my day.
Yeah, for Cowboys Bucks, definitely got to. Yeah, we didn't even mention we're switching to we're going to twice a week. We'll talk about that, I guess, at the end of the episode. We'll announce that kind of because we're moving. Yeah, this is our last Wednesday episode. But alrighty, well, that's really all the NFL fantasy talk we got. We went longer than I thought we were going to. So Cole, appreciate you coming on, giving us your fantasy insight. Everybody check out Cole's work on our website, gtdsports.com. He has some great blogs on there. Cole, you want to give yourself a social media shout out real quick? What's your username?
I guess, follow me on Instagram at ColeMarkey35. That's the best way to, I might have some links to the blog. That's the best way to see stuff. So, yep.
All righty, check out Cole. Appreciate you coming on. And we will talk to you shortly. I'm sure you'll be on here in the next few weeks again, talking football during the season. So appreciate you being here and have a good one, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Peace. Oh, God, I got the screen on there. Remove. Oops, I accidentally clicked add instead of remove. All right, we're back, though. We're back. That was nice, talking about fantasy mostly. We haven't really specifically talked about fantasy kind of in a while, I feel
we're
like.
not like a fantasy football show, but I mean everyone loves fantasy, and we love fantasy, so it just kind of makes sense to implement it.
Goes hand in hand. Yeah, makes sense. All right. With that being said, it's already been 50 minutes though. So is it time for some tier list, or do you just want to go straight into predictions and Jake Paul, and then we can do tier list next week?
Nah, fuck it. Let's make a tier list.
Because we can make a tier list real quick.
Well, I guess since we're doing twice a week, we can move it to next week if you want.
That's true. That's true. We can move it to Tuesday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your call. I'll leave it up. Oh shit. Yeah, let's move it. Let's go ahead and we'll just give our predictions real quick, and then talk about Jake Paul Woodley, because I honestly had forgotten that Jake Paul and Woodley was this weekend, and I'm very excited for that. So we're gonna hold off real quick, and we've given a ton of predictions. We've done NFL divisions, we've done MVP winners, Super Bowl, all that good stuff, but we haven't really talked about college football as much and what we think is going to happen. So everything is chaos right now. Literally everything is chaos with the conference situation. Recently, they just announced the Pac-12, Big Ten, and ACC have an alliance, which whatever the fuck that means, I don't know, but they have an alliance, I guess, which is basically just them saying, hey, we like each other and we're going to schedule games, I guess. There's no point in it, really. I don't understand why it's important, but nonetheless, it happened. And now we're going to have a weird college football season. It's not going to be normal by any means, but it should be.
It's going to be normal for this year.
Well, schedule-wise, yeah. Schedule-wise, yes.
Shit's going to start going down in 2 years?
Yeah, whenever people actually start moving around, yeah. But I think this year a lot's going to be different because I feel like there's going to be a target on
There's going to be a lot of hatred.
Yeah, Oklahoma and Texas are going to have a massive target on their back this year.
Yeah.
Especially Texas, bro. Especially
Texas. UT, I mean, they always have a target on their back, and this just makes it even worse because I'm pretty sure they were the driving force behind leaving the Big 12. Like they're like, OU just went along because we were like, yeah, wherever you go, I go, or wherever I go, wherever you go, I go.
They're just a tandem now. They're the powerhouse tandem, of blue blood football. I think that was definitely more of a Texas move because they're the money hungry bastards. They literally made the most money of any college football program last year, but for some reason they want more. I don't know why, but they do, and they have their own fucking television broadcast network. Nothing's enough for these guys. Nothing, and it never will be. I don't know if the SEC will be enough for them, but we'll see. With that being said, though, we're going to go through each major conference, give our predictions, and maybe a few teams to look out for here and there, what we think might happen. But first thing is first, as we're talking about it, we'll start with the granddaddy of them all, SEC. Who's winning the SEC this year?
Who else but Bama?
Yep, you already know.
It's just like they're not going anywhere. They're never going to go anywhere at this point, it feels like.
Nope.
Unless Saban, I think Saban's going to be in a coffin for 20 years until he retires. Because he just keeps on winning and he loves that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know who else would I even pick. I mean, Georgia is going to be competitive again.
Yeah, people are high on Georgia this year, but no shot they beat.
Who's a quarterback again? That
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels. So they have JT Daniels, and they'll be back again competing. But this is Bama owns college football.
Yeah, I hate to just go with the routine pick every time, but my predictions are so fucking routine. It's not even funny, and because there really isn't. It's just the way college football is moving. I mean, you look at the college football playoffs since 2014. How everything's shifted since then. Do you know about the blue chip ratio?
No.
So the blue chip ratio essentially is a blue chip recruit is a 4- and 5-star recruit, which is blue chip, kind of like blue blood. So those blue chip recruits have always favored programs like Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, teams that have history, teams that have money, teams that have a system built around it, right? But now, since the playoff has been implemented, and literally only, I think, 20 of the playoff spots have been filled by the same 7 teams in the last 5 years. I don't know the exact stat, but it's ridiculous. Ever since the playoff, that blue chip ratio of the number of recruits that go to big schools like that has drastically shifted. I'm talking it used to be 65%, and now it's at 89%. So drastically shifted since the playoff era began. And I mean, that's why we're kind of talking about Alabama will never not be Alabama. Clemson may never not be Clemson. And which is weird to think about because 15 years ago in 2005, Clemson was like a 3-9 team. Bama was okay. They would maybe make a bowl game. But shit turned, and now they're a perennial powerhouse. So it's we're at the era now, though, where I think it's too late to go back. Because of this shift and everything, and with the NIL and stuff too, name, image, likeness, those schools like Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, they're going to be able to provide way more opportunities for the athletes than schools like us, TCU, a smaller school, or especially the group of 5 teams like Houston, SMU. It's a lot is shifting right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're right. It sucks. And like you said, Bama, I mean, it wasn't always like this. Bama was always good, but and they'd be there. But there'd be years where it would just be a lot of other teams competing. I mean, there's always going to be powerhouses in college football. College football always has and always will be a powerhouse run entity. But the way that it's gone now is just ridiculous. It's the same 4 teams, for the most part. It's Bama, it's Clemson. For some reason, I guess Dabo Swinney, just decided that he has turned Clemson into college football royalty.
Yeah, it's weird. Of all programs,
it's awesome in its own right, though. It really is.
Yeah, I agree.
And then there's OSU, Ohio State, and then there's OU. And then that's it. And then or like SEC, like if you want to go to the SEC.
Those 4 teams, I think it was those 4 teams have taken over 75. They've taken 3/4 of the playoff spot, which is absurd. Like it's a spectacle. Sure, the playoff is entertaining, but is it really entertaining when it's the same fucking matchups every year? And I get it. The alumni fan base, SEC is always going to have a huge fan base. Oklahoma has a huge alumni support network. Ohio State probably has one of the biggest alumni networks in the country. Mm-hmm. So they're going to make money off of it. It's going to be money, but it's just, I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I don't think there's a solution really, but shit's going downhill.
I think like fans are probably already starting to feel a lot of fatigue from this already. And it's not going to change.
I used to be like teams. I used to be 100% diehard. College football is above and beyond my favorite compared to the NFL. But now I don't even know. Like maybe it's because I've followed pro sports a little bit more as I've gotten older. But really, I think it has to do with just the way that college football has evolved. It hasn't evolved in a good way. If anything, it's devolved. Like I think it's going downhill. They're not really making the best decisions because the NCAA isn't a governing body. They can't control the teams. They can't control the conferences. So it's just different. I mean, I assume then since we're talking about predictions, I assume you have Ohio State and Clemson as well winning the conference.
Yep. Yeah. Ohio State, Clemson, OU, all winning their respective conferences. And then and this is what we get when we implemented a postseason. But when in years past, college football was all about the regular season. That's why, that's what made college football great is because the regular season meant so much. That's what it was pretty much all about. And then there was one championship game at the end, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then it meant something to go to the New Year's Six Bowl too. The NFL, like teams would go to the playoffs, and that's when you could have a great team. In the NFL, lose round one of the playoffs, and you're like, oh, I figured about that team forever. But if you're an alumni from somewhere and they win, 10 or 11 games and they go to a really good bowl game, even if they win or lose that bowl game, you're going to remember that team. But now that's washed with the college football playoff. You're not going to even think about it. All you're going to think about is how they missed the playoff. I mean, you look at one of the greatest teams in TCU's history when they won the Chick-fil-A Bowl, all we can ever talk about that year is how they didn't go to the playoff.
It is arguably the greatest TCU team of all time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's literally either that or the Rose Bowl team.
Exactly. Yeah. In that situation, bro, they were ranked 3rd going into the final college football playoff rankings. They won their final game 55-3 and then got dropped from 3rd to 6th. That's just there's so many faults there. There's so many faults. And like you said, you're right, though. The regular season was a bit more important, it seems like, with the BCS system. But there were some faults with that as well. I do like the postseason format because it gives a chance. Like the 4th ranked team could be better than the number 1 team. How do we know? You know what I mean? And so that did make it tough because it was literally only the number 1 and number 2 ranking no matter what for the game. Yeah. But I think the regular season is still important with the playoff, but you're right. Yeah. It has diminished it a bit.
Well, and then you bring a good point. Like, yeah, in theory, this is probably one of the best examples we've ever seen of in theory versus in practice when it comes to sports. So in theory, absolutely, we should do the top 4 teams. But now that we've seen it in practice, is this really the best way to go about it when it's the same 4 teams?
Yeah. I mean, they have moved this summer. They're in the process of formally, moving to 12 teams as the format. The committee seems to be behind it now. But, we talk about same thing, though, in theory versus in practice. In theory, this 12-team playoff sounds like it's going to solve all of our problems. But then who's to say that whenever it actually happens, it's going to be the conference champions, which are going to be the same probably every year. And then I guarantee they're going to stick in like 6 SEC teams,
Yeah. No, the college football playoff has been basically communism.
Yeah.
In theory, it sounds great. Everyone loves each other, and this is going to work out great. But in practice, it's horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
exactly. That's a great example.
College football playoff is communism.
It's moving that way, bro. It
Quote
is.
It.
They quote it, bro. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that as our title for the episode. Just college football
College
is
football
communism.
College football playoff is communism.
Well, because even with the 12-team format too, that's going to leave a lot of room for bias. I mean, the guys that are deciding this is literally a group of 12 to 13 people made up of athletic directors, former coaches, people that are qualified to be making these decisions. But at the same time, why should the athletic director of Wisconsin be ranking the teams while Wisconsin is a top 10 team? You know what I mean? That just seems kind of like a conflict of interest to me. Obviously, they're going to put Wisconsin a bit higher than the rest of the people. You know, that's where I wish they could combine the BCS and playoff system. That's my dream. Use the computer from the BCS, the computer that ran all the numbers, decided the rankings, and then combine it with the playoff format. I think that may be something worth a stab at.
I think it'd be worth it to see what BCS would come up with, and like
that's true.
You know, like keep the playoff committee in line, but like keep a close eye on what the computer's doing. Yeah. And like if like we could pull up the data from the past 5 years, what would the computer done versus what the committee would have done? It'd be really interesting to see that.
Because I guarantee, like Cincinnati last year, even though they're a group of 5 team, they went undefeated. They won a few ranked games or games against ranked opponents, and they were ranked 8th. Their peak was number 8 in the rankings, which is insane for a 12-0 team. I get it, their schedule wasn't as hard as the other schools, but 12-0 is 12-0. It's hard to do. And I think BCS probably would have had them in the top 4. Probably. I mean, it's hard to say exactly,
who knows? But
who knows? Yeah, the SEC, the Big Ten, ACC, those are literally hands down a lock. Clemson, Ohio State, Bama are going to win the conference again.
Yeah, biggest fucking cap of all time is that the college football playoff saying, oh, no, this isn't a detriment to the group of 5. Like, they're definitely going to be included. Like, no, they get one New Year's Six Bowl, and then that's, you know.
That's it, yeah.
What you get.
Yeah, it does seem like, though, they usually are represented by like one team or 2 teams. Like, you know, this last year it was Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina. Other years it's been UCF. Memphis even had a good run. I remember Western Michigan went 12-0, and I think it was 2016. Western Michigan went off randomly.
I mean, the group of 5 is eating their meat, but they're not getting any pudding.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. It's a great way to put it. Yeah, I feel awful as a TCU fan, coming from a former Mountain West situation where we were the little guys. We never got the chances we deserved. I feel for the group of 5 right now. Mm-hmm. Like, they deserve more opportunity. And I think the NIL era is going to be good for them in terms of recruiting. It could open up some opportunities. But then again, it could also close the doors because these other schools can provide more. So it's tough. You think, back to predictions, though, you said OU for the Big 12, right?
Yeah, it's just, I mean.
It's the most sensical.
Spencer Rattler really turned his season around last year. He went from dog shit to pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I expect him to take off like every other OU quarterback has done. He's my Heisman pick as well.
Really? You're going with Rattler as Heisman?
I'm going with Rattler. I mean, he impressed me so much with his evolution last year. He went from like thinking that he was the shit and then getting benched and then coming back in that UTOU game and then the Red River rivalry, and then just was lights out from that point on. From like the second half of the season, he was really awesome. So if he plays in the second half form from last year, all year this year, yeah.
I mean, I could see it. I mean, he's a favorite for a reason. And yeah, who would have thought, though, by Lincoln Riley benching Spencer Rattler would have been his best coaching decision of the year? Because you're right. That probably is what sparked his turnaround. Personally, I think Spencer Rattler is a tad overrated. He did have a great turnaround, but people are talking like he's going to just instantly turn into the number 1 draft pick after this year. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. And maybe that's just because I'm coming from Trevor Lawrence, who was literally the expected number 1 pick for the last like 3 years. You know, everybody knew he would eventually be that. So maybe I'm just a bit too skeptical on Rattler. For me, though, Heisman-wise, if I'm going to make a betting-wise, I'm taking either – I still don't know how to pronounce this, and I won't until the season. But DJ Ugalele or whatever, the new Clemson quarterback. I think Clemson's going to go back-to-back with QB Heismans. that's my number one pick. And then number two is going to be Sam Howell at plus 1,600. Even though UNC won't win the conference, won't make the playoffs, they're going to put up ridiculous offensive numbers, and Sam Howell's going to have a good year because it's his draft year.
Hopefully UNC can be a surprise team this year in terms of competing for the college football playoff. I think they're probably the number one team I have in mind that could upset one of those guys, but then they have to run through Clemson.
That's tough.
But then again, this is a Clemson without Trevor Lawrence, but DJ is pretty good.
Yeah,
so,
he's pretty.
I really don't think they're missing much of a beat. But like Sam Howell's lights out. Their offense is crazy good. Hopefully their defense can do something. But yeah, I hope UNC can do big things. I definitely expect a 10-win season from them.
UNC 10-win? Yeah, I could see a 10-win. I think it's either going to be 9-3 or 10-2 probably, because they did lose, as explosive as their offense is, they did lose Javonte Williams and De'Ami Brown, who was probably their two biggest weapons, but they had a bunch. So I'm sure two guys will step in and fill those roles.
They still got Sam Howell though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you really want to keep.
That's what you need. Yeah.
Yeah. And then last but not least is for the Heisman, I'm not taking a pick at this at all, but I just found this interesting. CJ Stroud, the Ohio State quarterback for next year, is currently the number 5 projected on the Heisman odds. I think it's plus 1,800 or plus 1,200, maybe around that range. But what are the Buckeyes going to do whenever Quinn Ewers is here? Because CJ Stroud is young. And now Quinn Ewers, like the greatest quarterback recruit of all time, arguably, is coming in next season. What the fuck are they going to do? Like, are they just going to have a QB battle of all ages again and then ship one off?
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly like you said it. So if Quinn Ewers if he doesn't win the starting job, he's going to transfer.
That's so weird to think about because he left school early for it, you know?
Yeah. I just think that, they'll probably just get in CJ Stroud, and if he doesn't win a national title, then he's not guaranteed the starting job. That's basically it. I think that, honestly, like, if he doesn't win it, then it's probably Quinn Ewers. Because, like, look what happened with Trevor Lawrence a couple of years ago. Like, what's his name? Why am I blanking on it? The guy that replaced Deshaun Watson.
Brian Kelly. Oh, that's the coach. I know exactly who you're talking
about. Kelly Bryant? Okay, yeah. Kelly Bryant, the year after, he took Clemson to the college football playoff, lost to Bama. That year, he started 3 games before Trevor Lawrence took over.
Yeah.
And after he took them to the college football playoff. You're going to look exactly the same situation with Ohio State next year with Quinn Ewers.
That's actually a really good comparison, yeah. That's got to suck, though, to be in CJ Stroud's position. That's kind of a lot, you know?
He's got to get this pressure. Bread.
He's got to get the bread, dude. I mean, especially whenever Quinn Ewers is literally already a millionaire. You know? He's about to sign an NIL deal worth millions of dollars. So, obviously, the rest of the world thinks Ewers is going to be that guy. But CJ Stroud might think otherwise. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see pan out. I'm excited. But national championship prediction, who you got? I'm going Bama.
I mean, right now at this point, like just looking at it, Bryce Hall seems like the real deal.
Bryce Young.
Sorry, not Bryce Hall.
TikToker.
Bryce Hall's the TikToker.
There's Bryce Young, Bryce Hall, Bryce Love. There's a lot of Bryces in. Yeah,
a lot of Bryces and Jalen's get mixed up these days.
Yeah. But
Jalen's more with basketball though. Anyway, I guess Bama. I mean, that's like the lazy / smart pick to make. I predict another first round exit from OU.
Definitely.
That's like the boldest prediction I can make is that, you know. So yeah, like odds are that 3 out of the 4 teams that we predicted are going to make it.
So I think we probably have the same playoff then with Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma.
Yeah, unless maybe USC, who's I think mine and yours both Pac-12 pick, because Pac-12 is pretty watered down, and USC is like the only other team.
I'm going with Utah.
Oh, you're going with Utah?
Yeah, I'm going with Utah in the Pac-12.
Really? I'm going USC.
I think USC, I kind of have a bias against USC. I think they're always one of the most overrated teams because of their history.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Notre Dame, just like Texas, they're always one of those teams that find themselves in the preseason top 25, even if they went 4-8 the season before. You know what I mean? It just, they're always overvalued. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Pac-12 because they do have Keaton Slovis. He's supposed to be a really good quarterback. They have a decent team, but Utah, I'm just going maybe a value pick gambling wise because they're plus 500 odds, and they had a pretty good year last year. So in the weird COVID year.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I could see USC taking one of those spots, but other than that, like I don't see too many teams that are just going to take these powerhouses because they're just flooded with 4- and 5-star recruits.
Yeah, not exactly. It's gonna be a fun year of college football, but then also fucking boring considering it's gonna be the same.
It's gonna be the same end results.
It's gonna be the same end results. Yeah. I watch it? Of course I will watch it, and and I will love every second of it.
It's about the journey. You gotta just keep on reminding yourself it's about the journey.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's about it for college football predictions. We basically have the same exact shit, other than the Pac-12 USC versus Utah, but Pac-12 is always the most up in the air. No one ever really knows for the Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-12 is in a really bad spot right now, honestly. Like a lot of their really good teams just aren't that good. Like Arizona State, not good right now. Have been for a while.
Stanford's really bad.
Stanford hasn't been good for a while. Oregon hasn't been great for a while.
Oregon's so up
years.
and down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been so up and down lately.
Like
Washington
just not really...
has honestly been their best, arguably, which is weird.
Yeah, but as soon as there are a couple big guys that they had there for a little bit left, Jake Browning left.
Browning, John Ross.
Yeah, they haven't done much. Like they had that one good year, and they had another good year after that.
Yeah, I mean, they made the playoffs one year.
They made the playoffs, and then they had one good year after that, and since then they've been snoozers.
Yeah, big time. Pac-12 is an enigma. It truly is. I think they're in a bad situation right now, but if the conference realignment goes their way and they pick up TCU, Oklahoma State, I think then they're going to be in a good situation. That'll help them out a lot. Compared to the SEC, hell no, but it would definitely be an improvement for them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it for college football. Let's finish this up with some fucking Jake Paul, because you already know we love Jake Paul here. Not really, but I'm fucking hyped. That's all I got to say.
We're talking about
I'm so excited. Yeah, we do talk about him a lot, but it's because he's good. He's good for media, bro. He's really good news. I don't know. He does his job well. He gets us talking.
Mm-hmm.
What are you? We've talked about it whenever it was first announced, but that was a while ago, so we won't dive too deep into it. But how are you feeling? What are your predictions?
I hope Tyron Woodley is finally the guy to do it. This is easily Jake Paul's biggest threat. Did you see that one video of Tyron just absolutely shit talking Jake Paul, and Jake Paul didn't know what to say?
No, what was going on?
I can't remember. He tried to say something, and Tyron Woodley was like, "Shut the fuck up." He's like, "It's my turn to talk," and then just completely big dicked him. And then Jake Paul was just like, and it was a while ago since I saw it, but Tyron big dicked him, so I think Jake Paul might be a little scared, honestly.
I saw that there's like a clause in their contract, their fight contract, to where if Tyron Woodley wins, then he has to do a rematch. But if Jake Paul wins, then there's gonna be no rematch, which that kind of makes me feel like Jake's a little nervous. I'm talking. Did you see in the contract? If Tyron Woodley wins, they have to do a rematch. But if Jake Paul wins, no rematch.
Oh yeah.
So that makes me think that Jake Paul is a little nervy, you know.
That makes me really confident that Tyron Woodley's going to win this fight, and then Jake Paul is going to win the next fight. I'm convinced that all these fights are really rigged. Anyway.
See, I am too, but then again, like Tyron Woodley is not the guy that would take $1 million to get his ass beat and publicly embarrassed for losing to Jake Paul. You know what I mean? Ben Askren is that guy. He doesn't give a fuck. Tyron Woodley definitely gives a fuck because he was after he lost, like he ended his UFC career on a 4-fight losing streak. He was not mentally there when he was losing those fights at all. He was a completely different person. So I'm really hoping that this has like sparked that fire in him again. And he just wants to, I don't know, bro. I feel like he's not worried about anything other than knocking him out. There definitely seems to be some true hatred on Woodley's end of things.
Yeah, I don't know. Triller's just such a shitty company.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So like that's why I will never buy one of these pay-per-view fights. I will forever illegally stream them.
Yeah, definitely
and
for this
I
shit.
definitely promote illegally streaming them. Do not buy these fights.
Yeah, fuck you,
Watch them.
Triller. Come get us,
Watch
bro.
them,
I dare you.
Pirate the shit out of them. Like
So
sail the
easy.
7 seas. Sail the 7 seas.
Sail the 7 seas while watching some boxing.
Like,
Odds-wise, Jake Paul has moved a lot. He went from a -150 favorite to a -200 favorite, which is fucking absurd. I don't understand. I don't understand why. Tyron Woodley is +160, and part of me just wants to throw 100 on Woodley just because of how electric it's going to be. I tell you this right now, bold statement, because it's not fucking happening. If Tyron Woodley, if the same result as last fight happens, if Tyron Woodley gets knocked out by Jake Paul in the first round, this luscious head of hair, I'm shaving it bald. I don't care. It's all gone. I will be as bald as, I don't even know. I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. I'll be very bald, and I'll rock it because it's not going to happen. That's how confident I am. Tyron Woodley will at least get out of the first round. But I kind of want to do that if Tyron Woodley loses, though. I kind of want to risk it, but I don't know. I'm feeling so confident.
I'll probably put a small play on Woodley, but I'm not gonna put $100 because again, like this, I just don't trust Triller at all. Like they're so fucked.
Yeah, it's Jake Paul, so you never really know.
It's Jake Paul, yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe one day when he finally gets enough fights in him, he'll get his actual fighting license and not an exhibitionist license and fight for real, and hopefully get his ass kicked by like I don't know Joe Saunders or Canelo or something. I don't know.
Dude, yeah, I hope he fights.
He's out of their weight class though. Yeah, Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder, bro.
He'd fucking murder him.
Deontay Wilder would piece him up, bro. I would love to watch that. Did you see though that Jake Paul? I don't know I forgot the exact quote, but he basically said that kids of this generation are gonna look up to him as like a godlike figure, like people did with Mike Tyson, which is absurd.
He's good. Like, he knows how to promote himself.
He does. You're right.
He's a great businessman.
I've been
saying that about him since this whole shit started. Is that he knows how to promote himself. He knows how to make money. He knows how to be successful in terms of making money. So like, and I respect him for that. Honestly, I don't hate him as much as the little troll that he is.
Yeah. And there's sometimes like with his shit with Conor McGregor where it's just kind of like crossing the line. But yeah, I agree. It is his troll shit works very well.
I mean, you look at LeVar Ball, you know, he talked all that shit, but I mean, his sons went 2nd and 3rd overall pick, both playing in the NBA.
And now LiAngelo is on the Hornets too as well. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I mean,
ball combo. It's
kind of like, you know, LeVar Ball, Donald Trump, and Jake Paul. They all know what they're doing. It's like, it's one of the art persuasion, or like one of the 47 rules of control or something like that. There's like a bunch of lists of rules of like how to garner attention, or how to like rule, or how to make money and how to be successful. And that's garner attention at all costs. Jake Paul does that.
They definitely do that. Same thing goes along the lines of no publicity is bad publicity. You know, they're getting their name out there. People are talking about them. Definitely. Yeah. I'm so hyped for that though. Even though it is Triller, even though it is bullshit, I'm so hyped because I'm convinced that now will finally be the time where Jake Paul shuts the fuck up and has to say something humble. Because I bet if he loses, bet if he loses, he's not going to be like, oh, this is bullshit. He's bigger than that. You know what I mean? Like if he actually loses the fight, I guarantee he'll come on the mic and be like, Tyrone Woodley is fantastic, yada, yada, yada. Props to him, which is honestly going to make me even more mad. Like seeing Jake Paul be respectful after all this shit.
No, I don't see him doing that at all. I see him making up some lame excuse like he had food poisoning or something.
Really?
Something ridiculous if he loses. Like he's gonna find somewhere or another, blame it on the refs, blame it on like he had like a migraine or something, or like he had like turns out he had like a torn rotator cuff or some
Dude,
shit.
I'm hyped, bro.
There's no fucking way that he admits defeat. He's gonna be like, because like you said, they have that rematch clause.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, this fucking bullshit. I lost because of this. This obviously does not count, so we're gonna fight again.
Yeah. I could see it going either way, actually. Yeah. So I'm very curious to see how it pans out. Regardless of the result, there's going to be hella memes on Twitter and TikTok about this, so it's going to be fun.
It's a good weekend for fighting. Barstool Rough and Rowdy. It's Friday.
Oh, it is. I forgot about that. Yeah, Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man Jones is gonna fight. So like, this is gonna be a good weekend for fighting.
I gotta get that, bro. I get that for free with the Viceroy program.
Oh shit.
Gotta.
I think it's only like $20, but that's another one of those things that's really easy to stream. So.
Yeah. Barstool makes a shit ton of money on that though. It's crazy.
I watched the last one I watched was the Jose Canseco one. It was fucking entertaining.
Me too. That one was awesome. That was my first one I've actually watched.
Yeah, that's same
Billy
here.
Football, bro. Billy Football's the man.
Yeah, for sure. People's champ.
That's where we're on the way.
I almost put money on Billy
way.
Football, but then I didn't.
Yeah, I forgot there were betting lines. I would have too.
Yeah.
Fuck Jose Canseco.
He was like plus 200 too.
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, if you look at Jose, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun though, regardless. All right, let's hit some love it or loathe it, round out the episode.
Let's do it.
All righty. Not too many on today's card.
Before we start, though, do you want to talk about our new schedule?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. So, for those that are still watching, appreciate you still being here. But kind of an announcement we meant to mention at the beginning of the episode. We are going to be moving from Wednesday. We are no longer going to be doing our live show Wednesdays at 8 p.m. They're going to be on Tuesday and Thursday. We don't have an exact time yet. I apologize, but again, our schedules are kind of haywire. But nonetheless, we're going Tuesday and Thursday for sure. We're going to be moving to twice a week format because as we've gotten more comfortable with everything, I'm sure you can even just look at our episode history. We went from like 50 minutes to an hour, and then now we're at we have some at an hour and 50. We're getting more comfortable talking with each other. We're getting more comfortable with everything. It's more natural. So I think splitting it up into two is going to be a lot better for the viewer, especially because I know sometimes sitting through a whole 2 hours is a bit taxing on the mind. So maybe splitting that up into 2 1-hour segments or a 45-minute episode will be great for football season. So that's our plan going forward. We're going to be moving to Tuesday, Thursday. So, yeah. And that'll also give room for our other podcasts on our network. They're also going to be going live on our Twitch and YouTube. Blanket coverage, I think they're going to be going on Monday for one of the days. They haven't told me for sure yet, but stay on the lookout for that. Hopefully we can have a constant streamline of shows on our YouTube and everything coming soon. Exciting stuff.
All right. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay.
All righty, let's hit it.
All right, so Yadier Molina announces he will retire after the 2022 season.
This is a love it and loathe it at the same time. Love it because it's the right time. He's had a hell of a career, but also loathe it in the sense that you never want to see, a Hall of Famer walk away from the game. So
that's early to announce it.
I mean, yeah, but probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like it's a year and a half away. The season isn't even over yet. So
that's true.
It's a little crazy, but whatever. Padres fire pitching coach Larry Rothschild amidst struggles.
See, I loathe this one because why the fuck in the MLB, and maybe this is just my idiocracy, but why the fuck in the MLB is a pitching bullpen struggles blamed on the pitching coach? I get it. They have an effect, but these are grown men that are professionals that are just in a slump. You know what I mean? Like, you need to figure them out before you figure out the coach, I think. So I don't know. I think that's kind of Weird.
Gotta try something different sometimes when you get desperate.
That's true. That's true.
Orioles are on a 19. Yeah, speaking of desperate, Orioles are on a 19-game losing streak. It may be 20 by now at this point. Do we know?
The game was going on as I wrote this, so I'm not 100% sure if they lost or not. But I'm going to go ahead and say I love this one because it's been fun to keep up with their loss tracker. It started at like 10 losses in a row, and every so often you'll just see a Twitter update. Oh, Orioles are at 12 now. Oh, they're at 11 now, like, or 13, 14. What, did they win? They won? Hey, good for the Orioles. All right, love it. I love it even more. They just broke a 19-game losing streak. Good for them.
Okay, and then Sterling Shepard and Browns cornerback Troy Hill fight during a practice.
I love this one. Did you see that video?
No, I haven't yet.
I don't know exactly how it started, bro, but Sterling Shepard and Troy Hill, I think it literally just started because after a play, as they were walking away, Troy Hill said something, and then Sterling Shepard was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And then it escalated from there. But it wasn't like a typical, training camp fight. As we mentioned with like the Giants dog pile a couple weeks ago, this was a serious scrap. Like Sterling Shepard and Troy Hill, they took their helmets off. They were punching each other, bro. They were really going at it. And I thought it was hilarious to watch. So I'm going to love that one.
Yeah, watching football players throw hands is always really funny because they're really bad at it for the most part.
Yeah, which is ironic, I feel like.
Yeah, well, like the only good legit punches I've ever seen is Nolan Ryan when he got charged and grabbed that dude by the head, put him in a headlock. And then, of course,
Dodor.
Yeah, fucking Rugned.
Yeah.
Punching Joey Batista in the face. That's the cleanest clock of all time.
That was the cleanest of all time. Yeah, I think hockey players probably take the crown when it comes to fighting.
Well, hockey, but that's part of the game, so I guess it doesn't count.
Yeah, it's separate. Yeah, different.
Okay.
All right, we'll flip it over to you. This one isn't sports related, but I included this in Love It or Loathe It because it has been the talk of the day on social media. The new Spider-Man trailer came out.
I love it. Doc Ock is back. Pretty sure that the Green Goblin's going to be back. There was like a laugh teaser. Tobey Maguire is definitely going to be back. I'm so fucking excited. My Spider-Man, our Spider-Man. It's your Tobey Maguire's your Spider-Man, right?
I love Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
Yeah. So my Spider-Man is going to be back. Can't wait. This is going to be a really good MCU movie. I was kind of worried that I'm like an MCU fan. I don't follow it like super closely. I'm not like a huge nerd, but I end up somehow watching every single movie that comes out. So I guess I am. So I thought it was going to be dead after Endgame, but it's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah, I don't know how they're staying so relevant after Endgame and shit. It's crazy.
Kevin Feige, just galaxy brain.
Big brain, dude. Yeah, shit. All right, next up is Shikari Richardson places 9th in her return to the track.
I love this. This is hilarious. Yeah. It was also funny to see all the people that had her back so hard after she got canned and then completely turned on her for saying, "Oh, you suck," and blah, 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 blah. And like
people were roasting her, man.
Dude. And she was talking a lot of shit too herself. She was trying to, and then she goes out and does this. Like, you just can't beat the Jamaicans.
Yeah, the Jamaicans dusted her, bro.
Yeah, so.
Alrighty. And last but not least, we got J.R. Smith is now officially a golfer at NC-A&T.
I love this. We said it before. This is the most random sports story of all time.
Literally. Yeah. I don't understand how this happened.
If it's not, then please hit me with what beats this. This is I love everything about it. I can't wait to see Twitter. I can't wait to see this on Twitter.
Like you said when we first broke, like the news first broke, I guarantee we're gonna see J.R. Smith shirtless in some khakis, with some highlights of a putt or something.
I can't wait to see him when he's paired up to like some 18-year-old scrawny kid, like scrawny white kid. Like,
yeah, freshman in college.
Yeah, like some Will Zalatoris looking ass kid.
Yeah.
Makes up fucking J.R. Smith, dude.
like a 6'4",
Just going up,
beefy tattooed guy. Like
J.R. Smith just going up to him and be like, "Hey, bro, is this like an 8-iron or a 9-iron?" He's like, "Fuck, dude!" Like, I'm sorry, sir. It's like, dude,
I'm
like,
sorry, it was just 8-iron, 8-iron. Bro, he's gonna make the other golfers his bitch out there, bro. He doesn't need a caddy.
Bro,
gonna-
I couldn't imagine being 18 years old and you're like in a playoff with J.R. Smith, about to win this college tournament, and you're about to sink your birdie putt, and 36-year-old J.R. Smith is just staring at you from across, just like,
That'd be so intimidating, bro.
dude, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Fucking awesome. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see that. All right, well, that's all we got for this week's episode. If you guys stayed watching the whole time, we appreciate you being here. Or if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, we appreciate you. A few announcements, though. We mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we have a couple of new people joining our staff. Going to have some new writers posting some blogs coming soon. We're also expanding into a Gtd Sports Network. We're going to have multiple podcasts on there. We have blanket coverage recently added. Elijah's is going to be starting up soon. We just added Zach Sports HQ for a fantasy podcast. A lot's in the works right now. A lot's going on. Main thing to take away from this is we are no longer on Wednesday, though. We are moving to Tuesday, Thursday. I'll get all those announcements put up and switch our schedule on Twitch and all that good stuff. But so, yeah, stay on the lookout. Next Tuesday is going to be our first twice-a-week episode. So, yeah, got a lot of stuff going in this next week. It's going to be good. Football's right around the corner, man. I can taste it. All righty. Thanks for listening. See y'all next week on Tuesday. Remember that.